B. O. B. If parent is null, return undefined. C. Return parent. If is data descriptor, desk, is true, return desk. Assert, is access a descriptor, desk, is true. Let getter be desk. If getter is undefined, return undefined. Return, call, getter, receiver 0, 1, 9. The return, ordinary set, O, P, V, receiver 1, 0, 1, 9, 1. Ordinary set, O, V, receiver. Set takes argument, so an object, P, a property key, V, an
The last stream, I guess, ended due to whatever this is. Wrong keyboard. Due to this amazing streaming software. It's like, I love it. Best software ever. Unexpected error occurred when trying to connect to the server. More information log file. So I don't know. That's cool. I'm not gonna like rewrite the number, whatever. I'll just keep going. I don't know, I shouldn't like do like music recommendations at the beginning and the end of whatever. I think I did that last time, whatever. But Vana NZ, she has like a new song. It's VANA_NZ. I don't know. She was like almost like 1 million on Spotify. I don't know about YouTube. But whatever. I only have like 30, 40, 50 people. I don't know. So whatever. I don't know. I'm not getting any views on YouTube. Or like 10 million, whatever. I don't want to get Spotify. Spotify is like just as bad as YouTube. So I'm gonna just continue doing whatever I was doing. I'm gonna listen to the Biscuit song, I think, by Ivy Levine. She's pretty cool. I would not wanna pick a fight with Ivy Levine. She could probably kick my butt. I don't know. I won't, whatever. I'm gonna like replace the data types and I'm gonna pick I'm gonna just like expand everything to a larger data type. because I'd rather deal with expanded data than data loss. Either way, whatever I do, I'm gonna have to like rewrite stuff later. So I'm gonna like expand the data, and then later on, when I like actually update the engine, I'll have to truncate the data because it's probably gonna be really bloated and stuff. But at least it'll run. Alright, so I don't know. That's what I guess I'm gonna do. It's hard to make a decision and stick with it because I gotta do this for like 141 files. I don't want to do it. Like, write this code more than once. I'm gonna have to. So I want to like... Everything's gonna take work, I guess. It's not gonna be as simple as I planned. Everything sucks. Especially the Windows Phone. The Windows Phone was terrible.
Steps when called. Let own desk be. O, P, return. Ordinary set with own descriptor. O, P, V, receiver, own desk. 0, 1, 9, 2 ordinary set with own descriptor. O, P, V, receiver, own desk. The abstract operation ordinary set with own descriptor takes argument so, an object, P, a property key, V, an ECMAScript language value, receiver, an ECMAScript language value, and own desk, a property descriptor or undefined, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If own desk is undefined, then a let parent be. O, B if parent is not null, then I return parent. I set own desk to the property descriptor, undefined, true, true, true if is data descriptor, own desk, is true, then 72 ECMA International 2024 ABCD E if own desk is false, return false. If receiver is not an object, return false. Let existing descriptor be. Receiver, P. If existing descriptor is not undefined, then I if is accessor descriptor, existing descriptor, is true, return false. 2. If existing descriptor is false, return false. 3. Let value desk be the property descriptor. V. I've. Return. Receiver. P. Value desk. Else. I assert. Receiver does not currently have a property P. 2. Return. Create data property. Receiver. P. V. Assert. Is accessor descriptor. Own desk. Is true. Let setter be own desk. If setter is undefined, return false. Perform. Call. Setter. Receiver. V. Return true. 0, 1, 1, 0. P. The internal method of an ordinary object O takes argument P, a property key, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Return. Ordinary delete. O. P10, 1, 1, 0, 1 ordinary delete. O. P. The abstract operation ordinary delete takes argument so, an object, and P, a property key, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Let desk be. O. P. If desk is undefined, return true. If desk is true, then A remove the own property with name P from O. B return true. Return false. 0, 1. 1, 1. The internal method of an ordinary object O takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing a list of property keys. It performs
I need to check if the stream is even working. This stuff is so freaking unstable.
own property keys. O. The abstract operation ordinary own property keys takes argument O, an object, and returns a list of property keys. It performs the following steps when called. Let keys be a new empty list for each own property key P of O, such that P is an array index in ascending numeric index order. Do A append P to keys for each own property key P of O such that P is a string and P is not an array index in ascending chronological order of property creation. Do
Oh, the Biscuit song by EPILOGUE though. You should play that one. It's like the best song ever. Like literally the best song ever. The content ID, whatever YouTube uses to like catch and like scare people, because legally they have no legal backing for like any of the content right stuff. There's like 100-something countries and stuff. They can't, none of it's legal. Anyways, it's a scare tactic, but and kiss it up basically. But they're able to like catch even if I have like BRB covering up the video if it's really big. So I don't know. Maybe they'll catch this, maybe they won't. They caught some of the whatever was on the screen yesterday. And I was like, it wasn't even playing. I just like dragged it and it was paused. They tagged it still. I don't know. That's just a waste of servers to like monitor video and compare pixel data to see if you're playing a music video or like content. I bet it's people getting paid to watch the live streams, and then when they hear the music, or they'll run something to like catch for like video that's being played like a music video, and have a person that like tags it. I doubt it's computer generated. So I don't know, whatever. The whole content ID thing is ridiculous. If anything, that should like actually protect the artist, and it should be at like OS level, not at social media level. Like, I don't know, it's stupid. The Biscuit song is literally the best thing ever though.
Let's lots list.
I'm gonna like check the stream or whatever.
Slots list 0.
I think it's working.
Intrinsic default proto. The abstract operation get prototype from constructor takes arguments constructor, a function object, and intrinsic default proto, a string, and returns either a normal completion containing an object or a throw completion. It determines the value t should be used to create an object corresponding to a specific constructor. The value is retrieved from the constructor's prototype property, if it exists. Otherwise, the intrinsic named by intrinsic default proto is used for. It performs the following steps when called. Assert. Intrinsic default proto is this specification's name of an intrinsic object. The corresponding object must be an intrinsic that is intended to be used as the value of an object. Let proto be. Get. Constructor. Prototype. If proto is not an object, then a let realm be. Get function realm. Constructor. Be set proto to realm's intrinsic object named intrinsic default proto. Return proto. Note, although ordinary object create does little more than call make basic object, its use communicates the intention to create an ordinary object, and not an exotic one. Thus, within this specification,
the YouTube menu, whatever, you like hit save for like after you edit the description, like it just gets stuck and it stays as saving. It's like, did it save? Not. And I refreshed, it didn't save, so I clicked the buttons again, pasted the tags. and I think it's saved now. So I think everything's working. I'm gonna like place these stupid types, and everything's gonna expand to 8 instead of 4, and then later on I'll deal with truncating parts of the data specifically, rather than risking data loss, because that'd be like an even bigger issue.
Exception.
Because like there's no issue with expanding everything to be bigger. Nothing will break. It's just won't use that memory or parts of memory until I put code in place to use those parts. So that's what I'm gonna do then. I'm gonna like the address. I should have turned off. I'm like gonna burp. I'm gonna get the address and then the numbers, whatever, has to be like a multiple of the address, or not the address, the size T. I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna actually change code. I'm installing and uninstalling. Once I start, I'm gonna be stuck with whatever decision I make. So I just made a decision, and I'm gonna follow through. If I screw up, I just have to rewrite it. It could be worse. Not really. Rewriting it sucks. So I'm gonna hope I don't have to rewrite it.
Environment record for private names th. At the function was closed over null if this function is not syntactically contained within a class. Used as the outer private environment for inner classes when evaluating the code of the function. Formal parameters. A parse node. The root parse node of the source text that defines the function's formal parameter list. ECMAScript code. A parse node. The root parse node of the source text that defines the function's body. Construct kind. Base or derived. Whether or not the function is a derived class constructor. Realm. A realm record. The realm in which the function was created and which provides any intrinsic objects that are accessed when evaluating the function. Script or module. A script record or a module record. The script or module in which the function was created. This mode. Lexical, strict, or global. Defines how this references are interpreted within the formal parameters and code body of the function. Lexical means that this refers to the this value of a lexically enclosing function. Strict means that the this value is used exactly as provided by an invocation of the function. Global means that this value of undefined or null is interpreted as a reference to the global object, and any other this value is first passed to object. Copyright sign, ECMA International 2024, 75. Table 30, internal slots of ECMAScript function objects. Continued. Internal slot. Type. Description. Strict. A boolean. True if this is a strict function. False if this is a non-strict function. Home object. An object. If the function uses super, this is the object whose provides the object where super property lookups begin. Source text. A sequence of Unicode code points. The source text that defines the function. Fields. A list of class field definition records. If the function is a class, this is a list of records representing the non-static fields and corresponding initializers of the class. Private methods. A list of private elements. If the function is a class, this is a list representing the non-static private methods and accessors of the class. Class field initializer name. A string, a symbol, a private name, or empty. If the function is created as the initializer of a class field, the name to use for named evaluation of the field. Empty otherwise is class constructor. A boolean indicates whether the function is a class constructor. If true, invoking the functions will immediately. ECMAScript function objects have the internal method defined here.
I'm gonna save another backup, and I'm gonna name it restore point. Because I screw things up, I'm gonna need like a clean reset point, and this is like the perfect time to save a reset point in case things get screwed up. And then I'll feel safe about messing something up potentially. I need some water. But I'm gonna actually do something before I get water, and I'm gonna mess something up at some point. I just have to accept it and try not to. Oh, I hate backtracking.
Remove callee context from the execution context stack and restore caller context as the running execution context. If result is a return completion, return result. Return of abrupt result 0. Return undefined 176. ECMA International 2024. Note: when callee context is removed from the execution context stack in step 7, it must not be destroyed if it is suspended and retained for later resumption by an accessible generator. 1 0 2 1 1. Prepare for ordinary call. F. New target. The abstract operation prepare for ordinary call takes arguments F, an ECMAScript function object, a new target, an object or undefined, and returns an execution context. It performs the following steps when called. Let caller
Alright, after this backup, or now with this backup, I feel safe to potentially destroy everything on accident by changing the type size, and then, I don't know, everything can go to hell now. With this program I could really mess it up. And if I do that, I'm gonna have to go through anyways and change how I approach modifying the types without breaking things. Something's gonna get broken at some point. I don't want to accept that, but I can't possibly plan ahead. So I have backup now. Right now I just made it, so I'm just gonna risk making mistakes and start typing.
ordinary call bind. This takes arguments F, an ECMAScript function object, callee context, an execution context.
Any mistakes that I make are gonna be recorded. So I can't make any mistakes because it's simply recorded. If I screw up really bad, it's all recorded at this point. Maybe it's just hide the camera for 2 hours, test some code, and then only turn the camera back on, or the screen, whatever, when I know things are working. I can't do that. So if I make a mistake, I guess judge me, I guess. Whatever.
Initialized. Perform local env bind this value 0, return unused 0, 2, 1, 3. Runtime semantics. Evaluate body. The syntax directed operation evaluate body takes arguments function object, an ECMAScript function object, and arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, and returns either a normal completion containing an ECMAScript language value or an abrupt completion. It is defined piecewise over the following productions: function body, function statement list, return. Evaluate function body of function body with arguments function object and arguments list. Concise body, expression body, return. Evaluate concise body of concise body with arguments function object and arguments list. ECMA International 2024 177. Generator body, function body, return. Evaluate generator body of generator body with arguments function object and arguments list. Async generator body, function body, return.
Okay. Okay, after this, I swear I'm gonna get to work. But
arguments function object and arguments list. A sync concise body. Expression body. Return. Evaluate a sync concise body of a sync concise body with arguments function object and arguments list. Initializer. Assignment expression. Assert. Arguments list is empty.
Death by Rami. This video. It needs to get to like 1 million. Here we go.
Evaluation of assignment expression. B let value be. Get.
YouTube needs to fix the links and YouTube Music. They don't work. Okay, this music video has to get to like 1 million. Well, it doesn't have to, but whatever. I can minimize it before the software tags it, whatever. Alright, now I'm gonna actually work. I don't want to replace anything. I hit a wall and I can't do anything, so I'm gonna get doing something and replace the first thing in like 5 seconds. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get working on updating this thing and just accept that if I screw up this program, I'm gonna have to rewrite it after I mess it up. But I have back.
And returns either a completion. It performs the following steps when called. Let caller context be the running execution context. Let kind be f if kind is base. Then let this argument be ordinary create from constructor new target %object prototype %4. Let callee context be prepare for ordinary call f new target 178 ECMA International 2024. Note even though field initializers constitute a function boundary, calling capital F U N C T I O N capital D E C L A R A T I.
Okay, so I'm gonna get all the signed size T types.
A T I does not have.
And I'll replace them with the new size C type as a number. I'm gonna get all 127 of them. And then I'm going to set another backup and then do the addresses. There's no point in compiling it because it's gonna run. Nothing changed at all until I change the size of the type defined to 64-bit. Then some will change. So I'm going to replace the first thing right now.
Stack and restore caller context as the running execution context.
Control H.
Then, if result is an object, return result. B if kind is base, return this argument. C if result is
Find next and then
else.
Click it.
Let this binding be constructor.
Why is it not working?
Assert. This binding is an object. 4. Return this binding. 0, 2, 3 ordinary function create. Function prototype. Source text. Parameter list. Body. This mode. env. Private env.
Oh, that's convenient. It's just not working. So I guess I can't replace this text keyword.
A sequence of Unicode code points. Parameter.
Man, everything is shit.
Execute this. env. An environment record. And private env. A private environment record or null. And returns an ECMAScript function object. It is used to specify the runtime creation of a new function with a default internal method and no internal method.
Oh, now it's working apparently.
Constructor. Dart source text.
Alright, that's a start. I'm gonna get a couple more files, and then I'll be done with the signed-ins. And then it's gonna get complicated. I'm gonna have to like actually do some thinking and risk potentially messing it all up and then not knowing until later, which is gonna suck. So I'm just gonna whatever, keep going.
Be true, else let strict be false. Set F to strict if this mode is lexical. Set F to lexical 0, else if strict is true. Set F to strict 1, else. Set F to global 2. Set F to false 3. Set F to env 4. Set F to private env 5. Set F to get active script or module 6. Set F to the current realm record 7. Set F to undefined 8. Set F to a new empty list 9. Set F to a new empty list 0. Set F to empty 1. Let len be the expected argument counter parameter list 2. Perform set function length f len 3. Return f ECMA International 2024 179 102 4 capital A D D capital R E S T R I C T E D capital F U N C T I O.
I'm gonna make another tag, and tag where it's like clearly a comment with underscore comment in it, so then it will go down from 127 to like 80 or however many that aren't in comments, to weed out what's actually in use too, also, I guess.
N C T I O N capital P R O P E R T I E takes arguments f, a function object, and realm, a realm record, and returns unused. It performs the following steps when called. Assert realm exists and has been initialized. Let thrower be realm. Perform define property or throw f caller property descriptor thrower enumerable false true. Perform define property or throw f arguments property descriptor thrower enumerable false true. Return unused 0 2 4 1% throw type error percent. This function is the percent throw type error percent intrinsic object. It is an anonymous built-in function object that is defined once for each realm. It performs the following steps when called. Throw type error exception. The value of the internal slot of this function is false. The length property of this function has the attributes false, false, false. The name property of this function has the attributes false, false, false. 0 2 5 make constructor f writable prototype prototype. The abstract operation make constructor takes argument f, an ECMAScript function object or a built-in function object, and optional arguments writable prototype, a boolean, and prototype, an object, and returns unused. It converts f into a constructor. It performs the following steps when called. If f is an ECMAScript function object, then a assert is constructor, f is false. B assert f is an extensible object that does not have a prototype own property. C set f to the definition specified in 102 2 else. A set f to the definition specified in 103 2 set f to base. If writable prototype is not present, set writable prototype to true. If prototype is not present, then a set prototype to ordinary object create percent object prototype percent. B perform define property or throw prototype constructor property descriptor f writable prototype false true. Perform define property or throw f prototype property descriptor prototype writable prototype false false. Return unused 80 ECMA International 2024 102 6. Make class constructor f. The abstract operation make class constructor takes argument f, an ECMAScript function object, and returns unused. It performs the following steps when called. Assert f is false, set f to true, return unused. 0, 2, 7. Make method f. Home object. The abstract operation make method takes arguments f, an ECMAScript function object, and home object, an object, and returns unused. It configures f as a method. It performs the following steps when called. Set f to home object, return unused. 0, 2, 8. Define method property, home object, key, closure, enumerable. The abstract operation define method property takes arguments home object, an object, key, a property key or private name, closure, a function object, and enumerable, a boolean, and returns either a normal completion containing either a private element or unused, or an abrupt completion. It performs the following steps when called. Assert home object is an ordinary, extensible object. If key is a private name, then a return private element. Method closure 3. Else a let desk be the property descriptor. Closure true, enumerable, true be perform. Define property or throw, home object, key, desk, C note. Define property or throw only returns an abrupt completion when attempting to define a class. Static method whose key is prototype. D return unused. 0, 2, 9. Set function name f. Name prefix. The abstract operation set function name takes arguments f, a function object, a name, a property key or private name, and optional argument prefix, a string, and returns unused. It adds a name property to f. It performs the following steps when called. Assert f is an extensible object that does not have a name own property. If name is a symbol, then a let description be name's value. B if description is undefined, set name to the empty string. See else.
I thought this would be really simple. Dang it. Everything's like intertwined. All the types.
Property descriptor, name, false.
I have a macro where it glues a casted, there's a typecast, and it's because it's the type in parentheses, and then it glues it to the right hand side. That's a token or whatever. And now I have to dig into the macro to figure out if it is gluing the parentheses with the right hand side. So like, it's not modifying what it is, it's just concatenating it as a token, but it's not a string literal. Or if the macro unwraps the parentheses and it is using the name itself of the type and gluing that to the right hand side, which I think it's not doing, but it could be doing. It can't be doing that because that, if you make a type like unsigned, I think you always need the actual type size. I don't think you can just put unsigned in the name unless the compiler does an auto type as unsigned. So I'm gonna I think I'm gonna skip all these possibly problematic things and get back to them. I wanted to like just go through and go replace. I'm gonna have to like dig into like a lot of these places. This isn't fun. I thought it would be kind of fun and easy.
A second.
But it's not. Maybe more work than expected.
I-O-N capital D-E-C-L-A-R-A-T-I-O-N capital I-N-S-T-A-N-T-I-A-T.
You can replace these straight up, whatever.
During evaluation of the function body, it performs the following steps when called. Let callee context.
Because all the macros do the same thing, and it's the same whatever logic, and I know that I needed to be this type size.
Names be the bound names of formals. If parameter names has any duplicate entries, let has.
We're gonna get to this one, and then
let has duplicates be.
This one, and then this one.
The list of formals.
And that's like 3 things gotta look into, and then another file might have a couple more. I'm gonna end up with like 20-30 stupid typecasting I gotta like investigate before I can click replace.
Initialize be a new empty list. 4. For each element.
That's not fun. I just wanna replace it. Into it. So I'm gonna get the rest of the files, I guess. I really thought this would be easy, but it's not going to be as easy as I thought.
If function names does not contain fn, then insert fn as the first element of function names. Note, if there are multiple function declarations for the same name, the last declaration is used. Insert d as the first element of functions to initialize. 5. Let arguments object needed be true. 6. If func is lexical, then a note. Arrow functions never have an arguments object. B set arguments object needed to false. 7. Else if parameter names contains arguments, then a set arguments object needed to false. 82. ECMA International 2024. 18. Else if his parameter expressions is false, then if function names contains arguments or lexical names contains arguments, then I set arguments object needed to false. 9. If strict is true or has parameter expressions is false, then a note. Only a single environment record is needed for the parameters, since calls to eval in strict mode code cannot create new bindings which are visible outside of the eval. B let env be the lexical environment of callee context. 0. Else, a note. A separate environment record is needed to ensure that bindings created by direct eval calls in the.
I finally found one of the JavaScript files that I was trying to find last time. So now I'm gonna be completely sidetracked, and I have to check this file now. Because it's not even gonna run because I replaced stuff in it. So now I gotta fix it because it makes an output file, and I'm already off track. So I'm gonna get sidetracked more on this file. I don't know how. I don't think it's possible to like make a to-do list or like plan on doing one thing and then following that one thing through. I'm gonna have to like keep going back and forth between a bunch of different things. If I could focus on one thing and like not even focus, if there wasn't like exceptions like in this file, I'd be able to do exactly what I said. But there's always some kind of like, something that's off. So I don't know, I'm gonna dig into this stupid JavaScript file. I have to paste the header that I did to the other files I was using like 2 days ago. I gotta run it. I gotta make sure it runs whatever in the browser. And I gotta check the output, copy paste, compare that, make sure it makes the same output. And then I'll get back to I'll do that after. I'm gonna just try to like finish up these sign types, I guess. I can't multitask at all. I don't know, whatever. Whenever I try to multitask, nothing gets done ever. So I'll just put in a to-do list that I'm not gonna check, and then when I do check it and I forget to check it, I'll get to it eventually. I'm gonna do that then. Put it in a list, and I'll get back to the other file later.
Perform env create mutable binding. N. False. Perform env initialize binding. N. Undefined. D. Let var env be env28. Else. A note. A separate environment record is needed to ensure that closures created by expressions in the formal parameter list do not have visibility of declarations in the function body. B. Let var env be new declarative environment. env. C. Set the variable environment of callee context to var env. D. Let instantiated var names be a new empty list. E. For each element n of var names, do. I if instantiated var names does not contain n, then ECMA International 2024 183 1. Append n to instantiated var names. Perform var env create mutable binding. N. False. If parameter bindings does not contain n, or if function names contains n, then a let initial value be undefined for. Else, a let initial value be env get binding value. N. False. Perform var env initialize binding. N. Initial value. Note. A var with the same name as a formal parameter initially has the same value as the corresponding initialized parameter. 9. Note. An xb 3 2 1 adds additional steps at this point. 0. If strict is false, then a let lexi env be new declarative environment. Var env be note. Non-strict functions use a separate environment record for top-level lexical declarations so that a direct eval can determine whether any var scope declarations introduced by the eval code.
It's a JavaScript file, but it's saved as a C++ file type. And that's why I like mixed it up. I didn't catch it earlier. I don't know how the browser I don't know. I thought the browser would have caught that it's not a JavaScript file type and like complain, but it didn't. Which means I might have other files that are C files that are actually JavaScript files. And that's great, so I'm gonna have to like pick through them and I don't know, that's just annoying. I'm gonna have to like sort this stuff out then and give them the right file type so I don't mix it up again.
5. Let private env be the private environment of callee context. 6. For each parse node f of functions to initialize, do a let fn be the sole element of the bound names of f. B. Let fo be instantiate function object of f with arguments lexi env and private env. C.
I think I'll just like replace the type on all of them and then check it later, just so it stops popping up as to do or whatever, or to find, so I have to replace it.
It must satisfy the requirements for ordinary objects set out in 10.1. In addition to the internal...
no matter what I do, I know I'm gonna forget something and have to like get back to it later. I don't know why explaining it makes me think that I'm gonna remember it because I explained it, because I won't. I'm gonna like actually try to use a to-do list, and it might help possibly using a to-do list
Internal method if and only if it is
if I like actually check the to-do list
action explicit.
and then do what's on that list.
Internal method must conform to the
That takes a whole lot of commitment to use a to-do list, so I don't know if I can lock myself in to do that.
an extension to the above algorithm that is necessary for backwards compatibility with web browser implementations of ECMAScript that predate
But it's something I guess I have to do.
2024.
To do.
1. This arguments list. The internal method of a built-in function object f takes arguments this argument, an ECMAScript language value, and arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, and returns either a normal completion containing an ECMAScript language value or a throw completion. It performs.
So I'm gonna hit like replace all, and then if something gets messed up, I'll deal with it later.
List. New target.
So now I want to do control find.
When the method is present, takes arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, a new target, a construct.
There's only 18 matches.
Completion containing an object or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Return. Built-in call or construct. F. Uninitialized. Arguments list. New target 103. 3 built-in call or construct. F. This argument. Arguments list. New target. The abstract operator. Built-in function
I should probably like not put a music video in the corner constantly because I'll just tag it.
containing an ECMAScript language value or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when
Not tag it, I mean flag the video.
suspended. Suspend caller context. Let caller context be a new execution context. Set the function of caller context to f. Let caller realm be f. Set the realm of caller context to caller realm. Set the script or module of caller context to null. Perform any necessary implementation defined initialization of caller context. Push caller context onto the execution context stack. Caller context is now the running execution context. 0. Let result be the completion record that is the result of evaluating f in a manner that conforms to the specification of f if this argument is uninitialized. This value is uninitialized. Otherwise, this argument provides the this value arguments list provides the named parameters new target provides the new target value. 1. Note, if f is defined in this document, the specification of f is the behavior specified for it via algorithm steps or other means. 2. Remove caller context from the execution context stack and restore caller context as the running execution.
Okay, now I got 5 matches,
3.
but 2 of those matches are where it's defined. So it's really 3 matches.
Prototype. Prefix. The abstract operation create built-in function.
And then I also have an issue, apparently.
A set of algorithm steps, or some other definition of a function's behavior provided in this specification, length, and non-negative.
Because it's trying to I did control find whatever. And it says something was in this file, but they're not able to open the file. So now I have to figure out what's going on with the file or just whatever. It's just annoying, you know. I'm trying to like not mess things up if it's gonna do this the whole time. and like have issues with opening files in the first place, I'm definitely gonna end up missing something and something will be messed up. So I need to stop overthinking and like, I don't know, stuff's gonna get fucked up, I guess. Because this stuff doesn't work in the first place. So I'll just try to go as fast as I can then. And I won't investigate these macros, I'll just replace them. And then if an issue pops up, then I'll deal with it.
Func, name 12. Else, a perform set function name. Func, name, prefix 13. Return.
Why was it unable to open the file? It'd be nice if it said why, but it doesn't.
Internal methods and slots. This specification defines several kinds of built-in exotic objects. These objects generally behave similar to ordinary objects except for a few specific situations. The following exotic objects use the ordinary object internal methods except where it is explicitly specified otherwise below. 0, 4, 1 bound function exotic objects. A bound function exotic object is an exotic object that wraps another function object. A bound function exotic object is callable. It has an internal method and may have an internal method. Calling a bound function exotic object generally results in a call of its wrapped function. An object is a bound function exotic object.
So I went to the folder, I checked the file that looks like it, I copied the name of the file that looks like, I pasted it here. So it is definitely a file. This file, it exists in the folder, but Sublime is unable to open it, I guess. So, I don't know, I gotta like open the file. I don't know. This is a good distraction after this. Like, this is just annoying enough to make me focus, I think. So it's a good thing that this happened. Because now I'm kind of like a little annoyed. So I'll like, I don't know, it like lights my fire, I guess. Because it's like, makes me frustrated. So I'm going to try to figure out why it's unable to open this file, and then just focus and work.
This argument. Arguments list. The internal method of a bound function exotic object f takes arguments this argument, an ECMAScript language value, and arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, and returns either a normal completion containing an ECMAScript language value.
What the fuck is going on?
Args 0, 4, 1, 2. Arguments list. New target. The internal method of a bound function exotic object f takes arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, and new target, a constructor, and returns either a normal completion containing an object or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Let target be f, assert, is constructor, target, is true. Let bound args be f, mens. Let args be the list concatenation of bound args and arguments list.
Is it Visual Studio? There's nothing open in Visual Studio.
New target 0, 4, 1, 3 bound function create. Target.
I don't have any files open, and it's not even running. I didn't click build. I just opened the program. There's nothing open. I think somehow grabbed the file.
Used to specify the creation.
Because when I open it, it's just gray. Though I made a copy of the file, that file opens.
Internal slots list be the list concatenation of, and the internal slots listed in.
And it's not open anywhere else.
internal slots list. Set obj to proto. Set obj is described in 10411. If this constructor target function is true, then a set obj is described in 10412. Set obj to target function.
Just restart the program.
Return obj 0, 4 to array exotic objects. An array is an exotic object that gives special treatment to array index property keys. C6, 1, 7. A property whose property name is an array index is also called an element. Every array has a non-configurable length property whose value is always a non-negative integral number whose mathematical value is strictly less than 32. The value of the length property is numerically greater than the name of every own property whose name is an array index, whenever a known property of an array is created or changed. Other properties are adjusted as necessary to maintain this invariant. Specifically, whenever a known property is added whose name is an array index, the value of the length property is changed, if necessary, to be one more than the numeric value of that array index. And whenever the value of the length property is changed, every own property whose name is an array index whose value is not smaller than the new length is deleted. This constraint applies only to own. ECMA International 2024-187. Properties of an array and is unaffected by length or array index properties that may be inherited from its prototypes. An object is an array exotic object, or simply, an array, if its internal method uses the following implementation, and its other essential internal methods use the definitions found in 10.1. These methods are installed in array create 0, 4, 2, 1, p, desc. The internal method of an array exotic object takes arguments p, a property key, and desc, a property descriptor, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If pi s length, then a return array set length a desc. Else if p is an array index, then a let length desc be ordinary get own property a length b.
It's not open in Notepad, so I don't know, it's not working.
Negative integral number f let index b. 32 p g if index length and length desc is false.
It's a text file. I wish this program would just open the text file. It should be a simple thing to do. What the heck? Literally, what's it doing?
The abstract operation array create takes argument length, a non-negative integer, and optional argument proton object, and returns either a normal completion containing an array exotic object or a throw completion. It is used to specify the creation of new arrays. It performs the following.
The file. The file is right here. Just copy, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep it though, just in case something's messed up. And does that. So I double click to open this file here. Oh, it is open. Why the heck didn't it open it over here earlier? I have no idea. This is so stupid.
Original array constructor. If this constructor C is true, then 88. ECMA International 2024. Let this realm be the current realm record. B let realm be. Get function realm. C. See if this realm and realm are not the same realm record. Then, I have same value. C. Realm is true. Set C to undefined. If C is an object.
Okay, I closed it, and it still won't open.
Null. Set C to undefined. If C is undefined, return. Array create. Length. If this constructor.
This program is shit. Like literal shit.
Completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If desk does not have a field, then a return. Ordinary define known property.
Okay, so I'm gonna click here.
22. Desk let number len.
This zoom tool is really not useful. It's like really unintuitive.
Throw a range error exception. Set new len desk to new len. Let old len desk be ordinary. Get
This file is the file, whatever. Copy it. The name of the file. Paste it here.
len desk is false. 0. Let old len be old len desk. 1. If new len old len, then a return. Ordinary define known property. A.
I pasted it. This is, see how it highlights? It's the same file name. So I'm going to click here, and it can't open the file. If I go down here, and I click on the file directly, it opens the file. If I click here, and I go Command or Control Option C to copy the file path, I go over here, and I paste the file path, Control V. It's gonna keep jumping, I guess, like that. So I paste the path here, go over this file, where it opens, and then I'll copy the file path, and then I'll paste it over here, and it's gonna jump again. And they should be the same file path. And they are the same file path. Except this one has the double dots. This one. So the program made a temp file, I guess. I don't even know. This is annoying. It's never done that before. It's probably gonna do this all the time then, because this is probably like some new bug. So I guess if it can't open a file, I gotta check every window, see if it's open, close it, and then manually double click on the file, because I guess it's like stuck or something. I'm gonna get back to replacing then, I guess. This is just stupid.
Corresponding to the individual code unit elements of the string value.
And if I like accidentally hit save, I'm gonna lose this whole file because there's nothing. It's an empty file. If I hit save, everything in the file would be lost, which would be annoying. So I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna click where does it say, do you want to save this file? It's not even closing. What the heck? It's like stuck. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna get back. Fuck this fucking computer. Everything is shit. Alright, I'll be back. I don't even know. I'm so annoyed right now.
Return is compatible property descriptor, extensible, desc, string desc, return. Ordinary define known property, S, P, desc 0, 4, 3, 3. The internal method of a string exotic object O takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing a list of property keys. It performs the following steps when called. Let keys be a new empty list. Let str be O, assert. str is a string. Let len be the length of str for each integer I such that 0 len, in ascending order, do a append to string I to keys for each own property key p of O such that p is an array index and to an integer or infinity p len, in ascending numeric index order, do a append p to keys for each own property key p of O such that p is a string and p is not an array index. In ascending chronological order of property creation, do a append p to keys. 90. ECMA International 2024. 8. For each own property key p of O such that p is a symbol. In ascending chronological order of property creation, do a append p to keys. 9. Return keys 0, 4, 3, 4 string create. Value. Prototype. The abstract operation string create takes arguments value, a string, and prototype, an object, and returns a string exotic object. It is used to specify the creation of new string exotic objects. It performs the following steps when called. Let S be make basic object. Set S to prototype. Set S to value. Set S as specified in 1, 0, 4, 3, 1. Set S as specified in 1, 0, 4, 3, 2. Set S as specified in 1, 0, 4, 3, 3. Let length be the length of value. Perform. Define property or throw S length. Property descriptor length. False. Enumerable. False. False. Return S 0, 4, 3, 5 string get own property S P. The abstract operation string get own property takes arguments S, an object that has an internal slot, and P, a property key, and returns a property descriptor or undefined. It performs the following steps when called. If P is not a string, return undefined. Let index be canonical numeric index string P. If index is undefined, return undefined. If is integral number, int x, is false, return undefined. If index is -0, return undefined. Let str be S. Assert. str is a string. Let len be the length of str. If r, int x, 0 or len r, int x, return undefined. 0. Let result str be the substring of str from r, int x, to r. Index plus 1, 1. Return the property descriptor. Result str. False. True, false. 0, 4. 4 arguments exotic objects. Most ECMAScript functions make an arguments object available to their code. Depending upon the characteristics of the function definition, its arguments object is either an ordinary object or an arguments exotic object. An arguments exotic object is an exotic object whose array index properties map to the formal parameters bindings of an invocation of its associated ECMAScript function. An object is an arguments exotic object if its internal methods use the following implementations, with the ones not specified here using those found in 10.1. These methods are installed in create mapped arguments object. Arguments exotic objects have the same internal slots as ordinary objects. They also have an internal slot. Ordinary arguments objects also have an internal slot whose value is always undefined. For ordinary argument objects, the internal slot is only used by object prototype to string 2, 0, 1, 3, 6 to identify them as such. Note 1: while creating mapped arguments object is grouped into this clause.
Okay, the struggle is real. I've been overthinking, stalling, because I don't want to make a mistake. And now,
Exotic static object whose
The software isn't even fucking working, and I'm like really annoyed. So I'm gonna like stop talking altogether and try to figure out what's going on, and I'm gonna make progress and not explain myself because I'm gonna stall. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, this is so annoying. I don't know why it's getting stuck. I like saved the file, I copied it, I reopened the program. It's annoying me. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to figure this out, make progress. I'm gonna stop talking for a bit because me explaining something not working just really makes me even more annoyed, and there's no point explaining it. I feel like it's like unbelievable how often things like just don't work, and like I have to explain it because nobody will believe me. Like, what are the odds of like shit not working all the fucking time, but literally all of the time? So I just wasted time explaining, and literally you can see it's not like fucking clicking it. It's unresponsive. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to like I'm gonna shut up, figure out what's going on, make progress, and then I'll talk, I guess. This stuff sucks.
property key and returns a normal completion containing either a property descriptor or undefined. It performs the following steps when called. Let desk be ordinary get own property, args, p. If desk is undefined, return undefined. Let map be args. Let is mapped be. Has own property, map, p. If is mapped is true, then a set desk to get map.
The whole fucking window is stuck. It just won't move. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is so fucking annoying. What the hell?
New arg desk be dead.
It's probably gonna autosave this file that I have open, and it's gonna fuck it up. So I'm gonna make a backup, just in case, even though I have the other backup. And I'm gonna figure it out. This is so annoying. The other tabs work. Why is this one stuck? Oh my god. Okay, whatever. I hate this shit so much. This is computing on the modern operating system. I'm gonna resize this window and click this tab and right click, left click. Just fucking. Oh, but it works over here. But not over here. It's very, very modern. It's not very demure.
Map contains a formal parameter mapping for p. Be return get map p0 4 4 4. The if same value args receiver is false, then a let is mapped be false. Else a let map be args be let is mapped be. Has own property map p. If is mapped is true, then if
It's not closing. What the fuck? I hate Windows so much. It's so stupid.
ordinary set args p v receiver 0 4 4, 5, P. The internal method of an argument's exotic object args takes argument P, a property key, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Let map be args. Let is mapped be. Has own property, map, P. Let result be. Ordinary delete, args, P. If result is true and is mapped is true, then a perform map, P5. Return result. ECMA International 2024 193 104 4 6 Create and mapped arguments object arguments list. The abstract operation create and mapped arguments object takes arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, and returns an ordinary object. It performs the following steps when called. Let len be the number of elements arguments list.
Now, I actually have a purpose for the technical difficulty screen. There is no point putting up the technical difficulty screen. Just bored. I might as well be over dramatic because I'm just really annoyed.
ENV. The abstract operation create mapped arguments object takes arguments func, an object, formals, a parse node, arguments list, a list of ECMAScript language values, and env, an environment record, and returns an argument's exotic object. It performs the following steps when called. Assert. Formals does not contain a rest parameter, any binding patterns, or any initializers. It may contain duplicate identifiers. Let len be the number of elements in arguments list. Let obj be make basic object. Set obj is specified in 104.
Okay, I gave up. I just closed the whole thing. So I'll open it and oh, it's closed, I guess. Did I lose other tabs? I think everything's still here.
Five. Len.
Control find
Form.
the keyword and see if it does it again. And it does it again. This is annoying. At least it didn't get stuck, so I just have to manually open those files, I guess. Because why? I don't know. I'm not gonna bother to look into it.
Index 0, 94.
It would be great if things just worked. But that's too much as for.
Names 2.
So I'm gonna try to make progress now and I'm stop talking.
env. Let pb make arg setter. Name. env. Perform map. To string. Int x. Property descriptor. Get. G. False. True. Set index 1 20. Perform. Define property or throw. Obj. At iterator. Property descriptor. Percent array prototype values percent. True. False. True. 1. Perform. Define property or throw. Obj. Callee. Property descriptor. Func. True. False. True. 2. Return obj 0 4 4 7 1 make arg getter. Name. env. The abstract operation make arg getter takes arguments name, a string, and env, an environment record, and returns a function object. It creates a built-in function object that when executed returns the value bound for name and env. It performs the following steps when called. Let getClosure be a new abstract closure with no parameters that captures name and env and performs the following steps when called. A return env get binding value, name, false. Let getter be create built-in function, getClosure, 0, note, get. R is never directly accessible to ECMAScript code. Return getter, 0, 4, 4, 7, to make argsetter, name, env. The abstract operation make argsetter takes arguments name, a string, and env, an environment record, and returns a function object. It creates a built-in function object that when executed sets the value bound for name and env. It performs the following steps when called. Let setClosure be a new abstract closure with parameters, value, that captures name and env and performs the following steps when called. A return env set mutable binding, name, value, false. Let setter be create built-in function, setClosure, 1. Note, setter is never directly accessible to ECMAScript code. Return setter, 0, 4, 5 typed array exotic objects. A typed array is an exotic object that performs special handling of integer index property keys. Typed arrays have the same internal slots as ordinary objects and additionally, length and internal slots. An object is a typed array if its and internal methods use the definitions in this section, and its other essential internal methods use the definitions found in 10.1. These methods are installed by typed array create 0, 4, 5, 1. P. The internal method of a typed array O takes argument P, a property key, and returns a normal completion containing either a property descriptor or undefined. It performs the following steps when called. If P is a string, then a let numeric index be canonical numeric index string, P. B. If numeric index is not undefined, then I let value be typed array get element. Oh, numeric index 2. If value is undefined, return undefined. 3. Return the property descriptor, value, true, true, true. Return ordinary get own property, O. P. ECMA International 2024 195 10 4 5 2. P. The internal method of a typed array O takes argument P, a property key, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If P is a string, then a let numeric index be canonical numeric index string, P. B. If numeric index is not undefined, return as valid integer index, O. Numeric index return. Ordinary has property, O. P. 0, 4, 5, 3, P. Desk. The internal method of a typed array O takes arguments P, a property key, and desk, a property descriptor, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If P is a string, then a let numeric index be canonical numeric index string, P. B. If numeric index is not undefined, then if as valid integer index, O. Numeric index is false, return false. 2. If desk has a field and desk is false, return false. 3. If desk has an field and desk is false, return false. 5. If is accessor descriptor, desk, is true, return false. V. If desk has a field and desk is false, return false. V. If desk has a field, perform. Typed array set element, O. Numeric index, desk 7. Return true, return. Ordinary define known property, O. P. Desk 0, 4, 5, 4. The. If P is a string, then a let numeric index be canonical numeric index string, P. B. If numeric index is not undefined, then I return typed array get element, O. Numeric index 2. Return. Ordinary get, O. P. Receiver 0, 4, 5, 5. The. If P is a string, then a let numeric index be canonical numeric index string, P. B. If numeric index is not undefined, then I if same value, O. Receiver, is true, then perform. Typed array set element. Oh. Numeric int x. V. Return true. 2. If is valid integer index. O. Numeric int x is false. Return true. Return. Ordinary set. O. P. V. Receiver. 96. ECMA International 2024. 10456. P. The internal method of a typed array. O takes argument P, a property key, and returns a normal completion containing a boolean. It performs the following steps when called. If P is a string, then a let numeric index be canonical numeric index string P be if numeric index is not undefined. Then if is valid integer index. O. Numeric int x is false. Return true. Else return false 2. Return. Ordinary delete. O. P 0 4 5 7. The internal method of a typed array. O takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing a list of property keys. It performs steps when called. Let tar record be capital M A K E capital T.
Okay, so originally, why did the find replace the uppercase Q with the lowercase q? It didn't replace in this file that it's unable to open. I don't know why it's not able to open the file, but it didn't find a replace in the file because it couldn't open it. So the file wasn't updated to the lowercase q. So now I have to manually replace inside of this file the lowercase q. But this file is generated by the JavaScript file, so I have to find that JavaScript file and then have that file instead go through that file, put in the keyword, regenerate the file it makes, and then paste it into the file that it was unable to replace in. I don't know, I just figured that out because I opened the file and I'm like, why is nothing tagged correctly? Because it was coming up as like unable to open file, but I thought, oh, it did replace though, it just can't open it and show me and log it to the window, whatever. So it didn't even like modify the file. So now I'm going to edit the JavaScript file, make the output again, and then paste it back into this file. I don't know. It's annoying. It took however long to figure out. I didn't need that today. I didn't want to do that. I can't focus anyways, so I'm gonna try to focus, I guess, still. Everything sucks. Like, seriously. So I'm gonna try to like make progress, I guess. Again, I can't focus.
N-E-S takes arguments obj, a typed array, and order, sexcst or unordered, and returns a typed array with buffer witness record. It performs the following.
Instead of dealing with that, I'm going to replace in this file
meaning object, a typed array, the typed array whose buffer's byte length is loaded, cached buffer byte length, a non-negative integer or detached.
The one I was going to get back to later. I replace things as being a number.
Else, a let byte length be array buffer byte length, buffer, order, return the typed array with buffer witness record, obj, byte length, 0, 4, 5, 1 0 typed array create, prototype. The abstract operation typed array create takes argument prototype, an object, and returns a typed array.
I'm gonna make a copy of the macros, and then later on I'll like check to make sure they're not being used for the address and the value. If they are, I'll make a duplicate of the macro so to like separate the usage so they don't overlap. I'll put them in my to-do notes, and I'll do that later. But then now, everything's been replaced. There's no more sign types. So I consider that progress. So I'll play the bell or the whatever it is.
tar record. The abstract operation typed array byte length takes argument tar record, a typed array with buffer witness. Returns a negative integer. It performs the following steps.
So that goes to going around in a circle, trying to like figure out what the fuck is going on with this fucking program. I made very, very minimal progress. I still have to resolve or look into 3 macros I still have to paste into my notes file. I'm gonna stream a little bit longer because I have to make some progress. I didn't get like anything done today.
Assert is typed array out of bounds. Tar record is
Like not very much at all.
not auto. Return no. Assert is fixed length array buffer. O is false. Let byte offset be O. Let element size be typed array element size. O. Let byte length be tar record. Assert byte length is not detached. Return floor. Byte length. Byte offset. Element size 0, 4, 5, 1, 3 is typed array out of bounds. Tar record. The abstract operation is typed array out of bounds takes argument tar record, a typed array with buffer witness record, and returns a boolean. It checks if any of the object's numeric properties reference a value at an index not contained within the underlying buffer's bounds. It performs the following steps when called. 2. Let O be tar record. Let buffer byte length be tar record. 98. ECMA International 2024. 3. Assert is detached buffer. O is true if and only if buffer byte length is detached. If buffer byte length is detached, return true. Let byte offset start be O. If O is auto, then a let byte offset end be buffer byte length. Else a let element size be typed array element size. O be let byte offset end be byte offset start plus O element size. If byte offset start, buffer byte length or byte offset end, buffer byte length, return true. Note: 0 length typed arrays are not considered out of bounds. 0. Return false. 0, 4, 5, 1, 4 is valid integer index. O. Index. The abstract operation is valid integer index takes arguments O, a typed array, and an x, a number, and returns a boolean. It performs the following steps when called.
Okay, so now when I search for the sign type whatever, they've all been replaced. Except where it's defined, because it has to be. Oh, it doesn't need to be defined now because nothing's using it actually, so I'll just comment it out.
Capital B U F F E R.
I'll like put like done in the comment.
Bounds checking is not a synchronizing operation when O's backing buffer is a growable shared array buffer. If it's typed array out of bounds, tar record is true. Return false. Let length be typed array length. Tar record. If R int x 0 or R int x length, return false. Return true. 0, 4, 5, 1, 5 typed array get element. O. Index. The abstract operation typed array get element takes arguments O, a typed array, and an x, a number, and returns a number, a big int, or undefined. It performs the following steps when called. If as valid integer index, O, int x, is false, return undefined. Let offset be O. Let element size be typed array element size O. Let byte index in buffer be R. Int X. Element size plus offset. Let element type be typed array element type O. Return get value from buffer O. Byte index in buffer element type true. Unordered 0, 4, 5, 1, 6 typed array set element O. Int X. Value. The
Okay, so now Control F.
an ECMAScript language value and returns either a normal completion container. It performs the following.
It finds 0 because they're all done.
Value B. To big int value. Otherwise, let num value be. To number value. If as valid integer index O. Int X is true, then a let offset be O. B let element size be typed array element size O. C let byte index in buffer be R. Int X. Element size plus offset. D let element type be typed array element type O. E perform set value in buffer O. Byte index in buffer element type num value true. Unordered return unused. ECMA International 2024 199 104 517 is array buffer view.
Okay, so basically there's like 200 something or 100, I don't know, whatever, of these signed ones, whatever, and those are done. So all I have left is however many of these.
For upstream specifications, it performs the following.
Of course it didn't copy it, because why would Windows work? It won't even highlight and select.
A T A capital V I E W.
Okay, so I have
F F.
there's like 100 something of these, but for these there are still, because I didn't do any yet, I'm gonna do that right now. I got the easy ones out of the way, and I have like another file to deal with later. But first I'm gonna deal with 12,000 of these. So I'm gonna try to like get at least 800 of these 12,000 replaced with the correct tag. I'm gonna look for the addresses first. I'm gonna tag all those. Only like the really obvious ones, and then anything that's like questionable, because there will be. I just realized it's not gonna be that simple. Anything that's like questionable, I'll just not touch it, and then whatever's left over, I'll have to actually dig in and figure out later. So I'm gonna try to get like this number smaller and replace some of these. I'm not gonna think ahead. I'm just gonna do it right now after I save it back up, because it never hurts to save it back up. And I'm gonna think ahead while I save this back up, because I can't help it. And I have to think ahead. But I'm not gonna act on what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna think ahead, but come back here and only deal with replacing these to bring the number down and make progress, so I can like play this chime again or whatever.
Exposed as own properties of the subject. The list is ordered as if an array of those strings.
So I don't know. I'm gonna do that then and save it back up.
Find as compare F and 1 0 4 6 1. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing null. It performs the following steps when called. Return null. 00 ECMA International 2024. Note this operation always appears to succeed, but it has no effect when attempting to write past the end of a typed array or to a typed array which is backed by a detached array buffer. 1046 v. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object O takes argument v, an object or null, and returns a normal completion containing a boolean. It performs the following steps when called. 1. Return. Set immutable prototype O v 0463. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing false. It performs the following steps when called. Return false. 0464. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing true. It performs the following steps when called. Return true. 0465 p. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object O takes argument p, a property key, and returns either a normal completion containing either a property descriptor or undefined, or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If p is a symbol, return ordinary get own property O p. Let exports be O. If exports does not contain p, return undefined. Let value be O. Return property descriptor value true, true, false. 0466 p. Desk. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object O takes arguments p, a property key, and desk, a property descriptor, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. If p is a symbol, return ordinary define own property O p. Desk. Let current be O p. If current is undefined, return false. If desk has a field and desk is true, return false. If desk has an field and desk is false, return false. If is accessor descriptor desk is true, return false. If desk has a field and desk is false, return false. If desk has a field, return same value desk. Current. Return true. 0467 p. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object O takes argument p, a property key, and returns a normal completion containing a boolean. It performs the following steps when called. If p is a symbol, return ordinary has property O p. Let exports be O. If exports contains p, return true. Return false. ECMA International 2024 201 1046 8. The. If p is a symbol, then a return ordinary get O p. Receiver. Let exports be O. If exports does not contain p, return undefined. Let m be O. Let binding be m. Resolve export p. Assert. Binding is a resolved binding record. Let target module be binding. Assert. Target module is not undefined. If binding is namespace, then a return get module namespace. Target module 0. Let target env be target module 1. If target env is empty, throw a reference error exception. 2. Return target env get binding value. Binding true 0, 4, 6, 9. The. Return false 1, 0, 4, 6, 1, 0. p. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object O takes argument p, a property key, and returns a normal completion containing a boolean. It performs the following steps when called. If p is a symbol, then a return ordinary delete O p. Let exports be O. If exports contains p, return false. Return true 0, 4, 6, 1, 1. The internal method of a module namespace exotic object O takes no arguments and returns a normal completion containing a list of property keys. It performs the following steps when called. Let exports be O. Let symbol keys be ordinary own property keys. O. Return the list concatenation of exports and symbol keys. Note resolve export is side effect free. Each time this operation is called with a specific export name, resolve set pairs arguments, it must return the same result. An implementation might choose to pre-compute or cache the resolve export results for the of each module namespace exotic object. 02 ECMA International 2024 1046 12 module namespace create module exports the abstract operation module namespace create takes arguments module, a module record, and exports a list of strings and returns a module namespace exotic object. It is used to specify the creation of new module namespace exotic objects. It performs the following steps when called. Assert module is empty. Let internal slots list be the internal slots listed in table 33. Let n be make basic object internal slots list. Set m's essential internal methods to the definitions specified in 1046. Set m to module. Let sorted exports be a list whose elements are the elements of exports ordered as if an array of the same values had been sorted using %array prototype sort % using undefined as compare f and set m to sorted exports. Create own properties of m corresponding to the definitions in 28.3. Set module to m 0. Return m 0 4 7 immutable prototype exotic objects. An immutable prototype exotic object is an exotic object that has an internal slot that will not change once it is initialized. An object is an immutable prototype exotic object if its internal method uses the following implementation. Its other essential internal methods may use any implementation, depending on the specific immutable prototype exotic object in question. 0 4 7 1 v. The internal method of an immutable prototype exotic object O takes argument v, an object or null, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Return set immutable prototype O v1 0 4 7 2 set immutable prototype O v. The abstract operation set immutable prototype takes arguments O, an object, and v, an object or null, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Let current be O if same value v current is true, return true, return false. 0.5 Proxy object internal methods and internal slots. A proxy object is an exotic object whose essential internal methods are partially implemented using ECMAScript code. Every proxy object has an internal slot called the value of as an object, called the proxy's handler object, or null. Methods, see table 34, of a handler object may be used to augment the implementation for one or more of the proxy object's internal methods. Every proxy object also has an internal. Note, unlike other exotic objects, there is not a dedicated creation abstract operation provided for immutable prototype exotic objects. This is because they are only used by %object prototype % and by host environments. And in host environments, the relevant objects are potentially exotic in other ways and thus need their own dedicated creation operation. ECMA International 2024 203. Slot called whose value is either an object or the null value. This object is called the proxy's target object. An object is a proxy exotic object if its essential internal methods, including and, if applicable, use the definitions in this section. These internal methods are installed in proxy create. Table 34. Proxy handler methods. Internal.
I don't know, I saved back up.
Type of set prototype of set prototype.
It's still compiling. But it should work. It's still compiling. Probably gonna take another minute.
Struct. When a handler method is called to provide the implementation.
And now I'm gonna like replace the unsigned types, whatever. And then after this, I can I'll figure out all the problematic ones and fix that JavaScript file. Then I'll be able to do the address arithmetic. And when that's done, I'll run it, and if anything's broken, it's gonna like totally crash. But if not, it works and it's good. And then I'll make a game demo and stuff. Not like, oh fuck.
Code. It is possible to define a
Oh no, it's fine. I uncommented the define guard header to like make sure the file that wasn't opening, I want to make sure it was being included. So now I have to wait 2 more minutes when I click compile. That's great. So I'm gonna rebuild, and now it's gotta build for 2 more minutes. Okay, now I'm like annoyed again, so I'm gonna take a little break or whatever, walk around in a circle, find some food to eat. So take 2 minutes to compile. So that's my plan. I'm gonna do that and just get stuff running. And then all the other stuff like changing the type size, and I'll have to deal with tracking down and using a number for the data types instead of the address size, so it doesn't waste data by expanding everything to 8 where it only needs to be 4, because that's going to get complicated and I can't even think ahead until I at least get this running, and then I'll figure out. And I also have to, there's only like
argument v
142 24 files.
containing a boolean.
That means there's 200 something files because there's 300 total. Whatever I do on these files, I'm gonna have to repeat the same process on 20-30 files maybe of that aren't part of the ones that are being used. So I toggle on a different mode. I'm gonna have to go through those files and do this whole process again. So I'm trying to like systematically do this as simple as possible, which I am right now. I don't know. I want to do more, but I can't, so I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it simple and just get it running, because I have to use again for repeat this process again. And I should update all the files of the 300, but I want to get stuff running and run a demo first before I like invest in doing the whole thing, because I can't do all of it in 7 days. I'm trying to just only get what's needed done, and I'll deal with the rest later.
5.
Because at some point I should convert the whole thing, otherwise half the program will be like unfinished, and if I ever need it, I'm gonna have to go through and do those files that weren't done, and I don't want to do that, because then I'll be stuck like I am right now, where I have to like finish up something that should have been done a while ago, or like I should have tagged things originally with a size T and kept track of things and not used 4 as a magic number, because now I gotta like sort everything out, try to organize it without breaking it, because it runs, but it's like really easy to break.
Completion containing a boolean.
Oh, come on.
When called per form. Validate non-revoke proxy. O. Let target be O. Let handler be O. Assert. Handler is an object. Let trap be Get method. Handler. Prevent extensions. If trap is undefined.
I think I'm gonna go to a backup. It's a good thing I saved that restore point. I'm so annoyed. I'm like really annoyed. It's that stupid fucking file that won't open. I think it's like corrupted or something. Something is wrong with that file. I'm gonna restart the computer too. While I'm gonna do like a clean slate. I'm gonna pretend that it's a new day and it's everything is wonderful. This is a modern operating system, and like I'm just gonna restart this whole day from that restore point that I saved too long ago, and I am going to do what I just did again, and maybe things will work out this time. Like, I don't even want to debug because I think whatever, doesn't matter. I'm gonna restart everything and use that restore point I saved a while ago because I'm like so annoyed.
Then, if target desk is undefined, return undefined. If target desk is false.
This is like what I was trying to avoid when it happened anyways, so there's no point trying to avoid anything from happening because these programs, they don't even work in the first place, so whatever, I don't know.
Let result desk be. To property descriptor, trap result obj. 3. Perform complete property descriptor. Result desk 4.
So now I gotta like save whatever's open just to make sure I have a copy, and then paste or whatever, make a copy of the restore point, and then run the compiler, and I'm hoping it'll run because it ran when I saved it. That's why I saved it as a restore point. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be really, really annoyed because it means that the compiler didn't update all this time, and it's been doing an old build, and then now it decided to update, and I'm gonna have to go back a couple more backups and find which one works, I guess, because it's being weird. It's like the error messages, whatever, I don't know. I'm gonna pull back up then and save whatever is messed up just in case I need it, and hope the backup runs, and then I'll repeat this process. I'm not gonna think ahead at all. I'm just gonna carefully put stuff in, run it, put stuff in, run it. I can't do a whole bunch of files and then just hope it will run. I guess I'll just have to go like little bit by little bit.
Steps when called. Perform. Validate non-revoke proxy. O. Let target be O. Let handler be O. Assert. Handler is an object. Let trap be. Get method. Handler. Define property. If trap is undefined, then a return target. P. Desk. Let desk obj be from property descriptor. Desk. Let boolean trap result be to boolean. Call. Trap. Handler. Target. P. Desk obj. If boolean trap result is false, return false. 0. Let target desk be target. P. ECMA International 2024 207. 11. Let extensible target be. Is extensible. Target. 2. If desk has a field and desk is false, then a let setting config false be true. 13. Else a let setting config false be false. 4. if target desk is undefined, then A if extensible target is false, throw a type error exception. B if setting config false is true, throw a type error exception.
I'm gonna put like an X in the name of the folders in use. So and then paste it back up. Because I think the file paths are too long. Or whatever, I don't know. I don't want to risk breaking the full whatever's in them. In case, I'm just annoyed. So annoyed. I don't want to break more shit.
If the target object is not extensible, a property cannot be non-configurable unless there exists a corresponding non-configurable own property of the target object. A non-configurable property cannot be non-writable unless there exists a corresponding non-configurable non-writable own property of the target object. If a property has a corresponding target object property, then applying the property descriptor of the property to the target object using will not throw an exception. 0, 5, 7.
There's a pop-up in Sublime when I was closing it. I think it got stuck saving a file and said, do you want to save this file? And I didn't see the pop-up because I didn't see it. It like disappeared behind another window. So one of the files must also have not gotten updated. It didn't save, and that's what the problem was. Because I closed with Sublime whatever, and there's like a little square, a little dialog box. I don't know what file it was, but that must have been it. I'm gonna need to like put each of these windows on their own fucking window and then check that little fucking dialog box that pops up in the middle of the screen like this. So whenever this little dialog box that says, do you want to save this file? It has changed. Pops up, I'm going to click yes. Because it pops up like right here. Like this. And if I don't click yes on it, it doesn't save the file. And I think that's what just happened. Because I closed Sublime, and then there's a little box here in the middle, and it disappeared. I really wish that that little box would have been brought to the top, because it would have saved me whatever the fuck is going on right now. Okay, so I'm gonna stop explaining things for a little bit, because it just makes me more annoyed. I'm sure it's getting annoying for me to like explain when something doesn't work.
In target deck 0.
So I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just so annoyed. Like really annoyed.
If the target object property.
This stupid dialog box. Man. This whatever.
Target object property is an unconfigurable own accessor property that has undefined as its 0, 5, 9. The perform. Validate non-revoke proxy O. Let target be O. Let handler be O. Assert. Handler is an object. Let trap be. Get method. Handler. Set. If trap is undefined, then a return target. Let boolean trap result be to boolean. Call. Trap. Handler. Target. P. V. Receiver. If boolean trap result is false, return false. Let target desk be target. P. 0. If target desk is not undefined and target desk is false, then ECMA International 2024-209. If is data descriptor, target desk, is true and target desk is false, then I have same value, V, target desk, is false. Throw a type error exception. B if is accessor descriptor, target desk, is true, then I have target desk 1. return true. Note, the result of cannot change the value of a property to be different from the value of the corresponding target object property if the corresponding target object property is a non-writable, non-configurable own data property. Cannot set the value of a property if the corresponding target object
Mouse and then
own
close. At least something worked. Kind of.
P. The internal method of a proxy exotic object O takes argument P, a property key, and returns either a normal completion containing a boolean or a throw completion. It performs the following steps when called. Perform. Validate non-revoke proxy O. Let target be O. Let handler be O. Assert. Handler is an object. Let trap be. Get method. Handler. Delete property. If trap is undefined, then a return target. P. Let boolean trap result be to boolean. Call. Trap. Handler. Target. P. If boolean trap result is false, return false. Let target desk be target. P. 0. If target desk is undefined, return true. 1. If target desk is false, throw a type error exception. 2. Let extensible target be. Is extensible target. 3. If extensible target is false.
Okay, it's copied over. I'm gonna run the compiler first, then I'll restart.
A property cannot be reported as deleted.
If this backup doesn't work, I'll lose it. I can't take it.
A property cannot be reported as deleted if it exists as a known property of the target object and the target object is non-extensible. 0, 5, 1, 1. The internal method of a proxy exotic object O takes no arguments and returns either a normal completion containing a list of property keys or a throw completion.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is click this little button here in the build. I'm going to clean the program, the solution. I should have clicked this earlier. It doesn't even always work. So I am really hoping that this is going to work. I don't even know. I'm just annoyed. Well, it says it completed. So I'm going to assume that when I click build now, it's going to build the new files I just pasted because I made a copy of the restore point that was working. It should work.
5. Let target non-configurable keys be a new empty list. 6. For each element key of target keys, do a let desk be target key be if desk is not undefined and desk is false. Then I append key to target non-configurable keys. See else. I append key to target configurable key.
So it's building. And this is going to take 2 minutes because it's only using like 25% the CPU. Usually it's like 17. It still takes 2 minutes. Though, I don't know. The CPU must be doing something else behind the scenes, not related to the build.
Be remove key from unchecked result keys. 2.
This is gonna take 2 minutes, so I'll just wait, see what happens. If there's no error, I'm good. I'll just repeat what I did earlier. I'm gonna check it in between this time because I don't know how I had an issue. Well, I know because it didn't save that file, but I don't know how not saving that file screwed it up. All I did was replace the type with the new type, and they're both defined, so it should have built still. Like they're both the same thing, defined to the same thing. 2 minutes is such a long time.
Containing.
I'll just wait. So I can.
It performs the following steps when called. Perform. Validate non-revoke proxy. O. Let target be O. Let handler be O. Assert. Handler is an object. Let trap be. Get method. Handler.
What the fuck?
Target. This argument. Arguments list. Let array.
Why didn't it have this issue earlier?
This argument. Array. Note a proxy exotic object only has an internal method if the initial value of its internal slot is an object that has an internal method. ECMA International 2024 211. The 10th of May 2013. Arguments list. New target. The internal method of a proxy exotic object O takes arguments list. A list of ECMAScript language values. A new target.
This compiler is absolute shit. Like literally, I'm so fucking annoyed.
Date non-revoke proxy. O. Let target be O. Assert. Is constructor.
It was building perfectly fine. Like this. This is clearly an error. Right here. Not an error. A syntax issue. I guess it's an error. Because I have an if statement here. For fuck's sake, I hate everything. I have an if statement here. Underneath I have if. This needs to be an elif, because you can't have an if followed by an if. So if I type elif, now it shouldn't be an issue. But it was building just like this for like 7-8 builds with no issue, and then all of a sudden it's like mismatched if end if pair in JC stuff main. So this compiler can build 5-6 times, whatever. It doesn't even notice that there's a mismatched if end if pair, because it's been like this whole time. I typed it up and I ran it, and it built, and it built, and it built, and it built, and then it goes, oh, there's an issue. Why didn't it catch it earlier? This isn't even that big of a deal. But then, when it does catch it, it's like there's an error inside of the main file. So it's like, oh, okay, thank you, that's useful. So I'm going to click on it. I click, it's not going to hover. I click on it, and it goes to here. It's like, yeah, somewhere in the fucking file. Go find it yourself. Because you click on it here. I hate fucking everything. For fuck's sake. So I click it, and it goes to the end of the file. You can see if I click here. I go down here. They're supposed to jump to the line that the error's on. And then they're like, fuck you. Have fun finding where the error is at. The only reason I knew is because I'm like, oh yeah, I did type. I added a couple things right here and at the top. So then I checked, and then that was what it was. I fucking hate this fucking program. These people are fucking idiots, like literally. They waste so much of programmers' times. So now, I had to scroll up here, and I'm like, oh, that is where the issue is. Because I did type this up wrong, but it built like 3-4 times in between without any issue. So now I'm going to add an L here for elif, I'm hoping that it's gonna build. So I'll click the little save button here. Which one's save? This one. And I'll click this little bitty X. I'm gonna click build.
Point U plus.
I'm gonna clean the solution. And it says it was cleaned. So now I'm gonna hit build. I'm gonna rebuild. If this rebuilds, I'm gonna be really, really annoyed. Okay, so it's building. I'm gonna zoom out.
In an ECMAScript program, a Unicode escape sequence occurring within a comment is never interpreted and therefore cannot contribute to termination of the comment.
It takes 2 minutes.
A script program always contributes to the literal and is never interpreted as a line terminator or as a code point that might terminate the string literal. 1 static semantics.
This software doesn't work. It sucks. The Windows Phone, it didn't work, and it sucked. There's like a... I don't know. There's something common between Windows, the operating system, their compiler, their phone. I don't know. They just suck. Two minutes is such a long time.
Is CP 0 times 10,000. Modulo 0 times 400 plus 0 xdc 00, return the string concatenation of Q1 and Q2. ECMA International 2024 213. 1.
And I'm sure the compiler knows where the if, preprocessor if, I'm sure that it knows where the problem is at, but they're like, oh, it's at the bottom of the file, go find it. They do that on purpose. If they don't, their compiler is completely incompetent. I'm hoping it doesn't build. Please don't build. Do not. Don't build. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna go take a break because I hate this compiler. It just... Oh, I clicked the wrong button. It shouldn't have built. Because I'm gonna take a break. I am so pissed off. I can't take it. This is a bunch of shit.
6800. 0.
Microsoft can suck a dick.
00 plus 0 times 10,000. Return the code point CP.
It's Sublime Text. Them too. Well, not as much. They're like the only somewhat usable text editor. All the text editors are way worse. They can suck like half a dick. Not the whole thing. I don't know. I'm so annoyed. None of this even has to do with programming. It's just a fucking file that won't open or save, and the compiler won't build. Fuck. I'll be back.
Position 0 and position size. Let first be the code unit at index position within string. Let CP be the code point whose numeric value is the numeric value of first. If a first is neither a leading surrogate nor a trailing surrogate, then return the record CP 1 full 6. If a first is a trailing surrogate or position plus 1 equals size, then return the record CP 1 true. Let second be the code unit at index position plus 1 within string. If second is not a trailing surrogate, then return the record CP 1 true. Set CP to UTF-16 surrogate pair to code point first, second 0. Return the record CP 2 false 1 1. 5 static semantics. String to code points. String. The abstract operation string to code points takes argument string, a string, and returns a list of code points. It returns the sequence of Unicode code points that results from interpreting string as UTF-16 encoded Unicode text as described in 6.1.4. It performs the following steps when called. Let code points be a new empty list. Let size be the length of string. Let position be 0. Repeat. While position, size. Let CP be code point at string. Position be append CP to code points. Set position to position plus CP. Return code points. 14. ECMA International 2024. 1.1.1. 6 Static semantics. Parse text. Source text. Goal symbol. The abstract operation parse text takes arguments source text, a sequence of Unicode code points, and goal symbol, an on terminal in one of the ECMAScript grammars, and returns a parse node or a non-empty list of syntax error objects. It performs the following steps when called. Attempt to parse source text using goal symbol as the goal symbol, and analyze the parse result for any early error conditions. Parsing and early error detection may be interleaved in an implementation-defined manner. If the parse succeeded and no early errors were found, return the parse node, an instance of goal symbol, at the root of the parse tree resulting from the parse. Otherwise, return a list of one or more syntax error objects representing the parsing errors and/or early errors. If more than one parsing error or early error is present, the number and ordering of error objects in the list is implementation-defined, but at least one must be present. Note to see also clause 17. 1.2 Types of source code. There are 4 types of ECMAScript code. Global code is source text that is treated as an ECMAScript script. The global code of a particular script does not include any source text that is parsed as part of a function declaration, function expression, generator declaration, generator expression, async function declaration, async function expression, async generator declaration, async generator expression, method definition, arrow function, async arrow function, class declaration, or class expression. Eval code is the source text supplied to the built-in eval function. More precisely, if the parameter to the built-in eval function is a string, it is treated as an ECMAScript script. The eval code for a particular invocation of eval is the global code portion of that script. Function code is source text that is parsed to supply the value of the and internal slots, see 10.2, of an ECMAScript function object. The function code of a particular ECMAScript function does not include any source text that is parsed as the function code of a nested function declaration, function expression, generator declaration, generator expression, async function declaration, async function expression, async generator declaration, async generator expression, method definition, arrow function, async arrow function, class declaration, or class expression. In addition, if the source text referred to above is parsed as the formal parameters and function body of a function declaration or function expression, the formal parameters and generator body of a generator declaration or generator expression, the formal parameters and async function body of an async function declaration or async function expression, or the formal parameters and async generator body of an async generator declaration or async generator expression, then the source text matched by the binding identifier, if any of that declaration or expression is also included in the function code of the corresponding function. Module code is source text that is code that is provided as a module body. It is the code that is directly evaluated when a module is initialized. The module code of a particular module does not include any source. Note 1. Consider a text that has an early error at a particular point, and also a syntax error at a later point. An implementation that does a parse followed by an early errors parse might report the syntax error and not proceed to the early errors parse. An implementation that interleaves the two activities might report the early error and not proceed to find the syntax error. A third implementation might report both errors. All of these behaviors are conformant. Copyright sign, ECMA International 2024 215. Text that is parsed as part of a nested function declaration, function expression, generator declaration, generator expression, async function declaration, async function expression, async generator declaration, async generator expression, method definition, arrow function, async arrow function, class declaration, or class expression. Note 1 function code is generally provided as the bodies of function definitions. 15.2, arrow function definitions. 15.3, method definitions. 15.4, generator function definitions. 15.5, async function definitions. 15.8, async generator function definitions. 15.6, and async arrow functions. 15.9. Function code is also derived from the arguments to the function constructor 20, 2, 1, 1, the generator function constructor 27, 3, 1, 1, and the async function constructor 27, 7, 1, 1. Note 2. The practical effect of including the binding identifier in function code is that the early errors for strict mode code are applied to a binding identifier that is the name of a function whose body contains a use strict directive, even if the surrounding code is not strict mode code. 1, 2, 1 directive prologues in the use strict directive. A directive prologue is the longest sequence of expression statements occurring as the initial statement list items or module items of a function body, a script body, or a module body, and where each expression statement in the sequence consists entirely of a string literal token followed by a semicolon. The semicolon may appear explicitly or may be inserted by automatic semicolon insertion. 12.10. A directive prologue may be an empty sequence. A use strict directive is an expression statement in a directive prologue whose string literal is either of the exact code point sequences use strict or use strict. A use strict directive may not contain an escape sequence or line continuation. A directive prologue may contain more than one use strict directive. However, an implementation may issue a warning if this occurs. 1, 2, 2 strict mode code. An ECMAScript syntactic unit may be processed using either unrestricted or strict mode syntax and semantics. 4, 3, 2. Code is interpreted as strict mode code in the following situations. Global code is strict mode code if it begins with a directive prologue that contains a use strict directive. Module code is always strict mode code. All parts of a class declaration or a class expression are strict mode code. Eval code is strict mode code if it begins with a directive prologue that contains a use strict directive, or if the call to eval is a direct eval that is contained in strict mode code. Function code is strict mode code if the associated function declaration, function expression, generator declaration, generator expression, async function declaration, async function expression, async generator declaration, async generator expression, method definition, arrow function, or async arrow function is contained in strict mode code, or if the code that produces the value of the function's internal slot begins with a directive prologue that contains a use strict directive. Function code that is supplied as the arguments to the built-in function, generator, async function, and async generator constructors is strict mode code if the last argument is a string that, when processed, is a function body that begins with a directive prologue that contains a use strict directive. ECMAScript code that is not strict mode code is called non-strict code. 16. Copyright sign. ECMA International 2024. Note the expression statements of a directive prologue are evaluated normally during evaluation of the containing production. Implementations may define implementation-specific meanings for expression statements which are not a use strict directive and which occur in a directive prologue. If an appropriate notification mechanism exists, an implementation should issue a warning if it encounters in a directive prologue an expression statement that is not a use strict directive and which does not have a meaning defined by the implementation. 1, 2, 3 non-ECMAScript functions. An ECMAScript implementation may support the evaluation of function exotic objects whose evaluative behavior is expressed in some host-defined form of executable code other than ECMAScript source text. Whether a function object is defined within ECMAScript code or as a built-in function is not observable from the perspective of ECMAScript code that calls or is called by such a function object. 2. ECMAScript language. Lexical grammar. The source text of an ECMAScript script or module is first converted into a sequence of input elements, which are tokens, line terminators, comments, or white space. The source text is scanned from left to right, repeatedly taking the longest possible sequence of code points as the next input element. There are several situations where the identification of lexical input elements is sensitive to the syntactic grammar context that is consuming the input elements. This requires multiple goal symbols for the lexical grammar. The input element #bang or regexp goal is used at the start of a script or module. The capital I, N, P, U, T, capital E, L, E, M, E, N, T, capital R, E, G, capital E, X, P, capital O, R, capital T, E, M, P, L, A, T, E, capital T, A. Goal is used in syntactic grammar contexts where a regular expression literal, a template middle, or a template tail is permitted. The input element regexp goal symbol is used in all syntactic grammar contexts where a regular expression literal is permitted but neither a template middle nor a template tail is permitted. The input element template tail goal is used in all syntactic grammar contexts where a template middle or a template tail is permitted but a regular expression literal is not permitted. In all other contexts, input element div is used as the lexical goal symbol. Note the use of multiple lexical goals ensures that there are no lexical ambiguities that would affect automatic semicolon insertion. For example, there are no syntactic grammar contexts where both a leading division or division assignment and a leading regular expression literal are permitted. This is not affected by semicolon insertion, see 12.10, in examples such as the following: a equals b high g exec, c map, d, where the first non-white space, non-comment code point after a line terminator is u plus 002 f, solidus, and the syntactic context allows division or division assignment. No semicolon is inserted at the line terminator. That is, the above example is interpreted in the same way as a equals b high g exec, c map, d, syntax, input element div, white space, line terminator comment token div punctuator right brace punctuator, input element regexp, white space, line terminator comment token right brace punctuator regular expression literal, ECMA International 2024 217.
I want to check the output. Well, I guess I could run it. I don't want to open Sublime though. So I'll just run it. And then I don't know if it's actually working or not, unless I compare it to the other build from earlier. So I'm gonna call this restore point number 2. And this is I think it's a working restore point because now it does seem to be building, because there was an issue but it didn't catch it until now somehow. So I think it works. So I'm gonna restart, open everything again. I'm gonna use less windows, Sublime, because that might be messing stuff up. This compiler is gonna do what it does, and it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna save more backups and be more careful. I don't know, this stuff is shit. Pisses me off. So now I'm gonna restart and then redo what I did. Like I said, I didn't want to do earlier because it's annoying to backtrack. So right now, I'm backtracking when I tried not to. So there's no point in trying to not make a mistake or whatever, because odds are something will happen, apparently. It's just so annoying, so I'm gonna restart whatever. I don't know how long the stream is yet. I don't know if I want to make progress or just give up, try again tomorrow. I think I'm going to try to do something and then whatever. I'm just going to restart first and then figure out from there. So it's shut down, turn it back on. I'm just gonna pretend nothing happened and I'm in a good mood. I'll save it back up, I'll run it, check the output, and redo what I did earlier and pretend I'm not doing it again. I'm not gonna get frustrated, and when it's done, I'll play this bell sound. Not bell. Symbol, whatever it is. And then I think that'll be it for the stream for now. Because I'm like really annoyed. And then after that, tomorrow, whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'll find a place where it's used as an address. Yeah. So I'm gonna like open everything, do whatever I did earlier. I'm gonna rename those couple files. I don't know. This time it should work. So I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna go through the motions again and see what happens. I saved restore point number 2, assuming it works, because I'm gonna build it again. What the fuck? You don't know how fucking angry I am right now. I'm so pissed off. Why can't something just fucking work? Like, what the fuck is this? This can't be completed because the file is open in service hub.indexing.service. Fuck this operating system. Fuck Windows, for fuck's sake. It's not even hovering over where I'm looking at. I hate everything, bro. Like, seriously. I can't take it. Like, the fuck is this? This is the modern operating system, I guess. You know, it's very, very modern. So I'm gonna try to copy paste. That's all I did. I literally just want to make a backup without the operating system grabbing a file and stopping it from being able to copy because it's being used by a... What the fuck? I just restarted. So I'm gonna be in a happy mood and just ignore it. I'll try it again. If that's like, what is it? At first you don't succeed, just fucking try and try again. So I'm gonna hit this little X here, close this stupid zoom tool, and I have to delete these now because they didn't fucking work. I'm gonna make a new folder actually, because maybe the operating system is using this folder now, who knows. So new folder, I'm gonna call it 20 20. I'm gonna call it restore point 3 because this is my third try to make a fucking backup, for fuck's sake, that works, that I assume works. I have to check it still, but I am assuming that the compiler compiled what it was supposed to compile. This is all assumption, you know. I have no clue. This stuff is shit. If it's like, whatever, let's see what happens here. I'm deleting restore point 2, so I have restore point 3, the folder. I'm gonna do this simple operation of going to disk C. I'm gonna click on these two directories. I'm gonna right click, copy, okay, going over to drive D, workspace, restore point 3, opening the folder. I'm gonna fucking click paste. That's all I'm doing. If it does not paste, I'm gonna lose it, for fuck's sake. I'm so annoyed. None of this has to do with programming. I just want to fucking program. I don't give a fuck about the file system. I don't care if you can't save a file. Just fucking save the file. Okay, I am here now. I'm going to paste this back up. It's copying. If this doesn't fucking work. What the fuck? I think I'm like done for the stream. I don't know. I cannot take this. The fuck is going on? I'm not even making a joke. What the fuck is going on? I can't take this shit. I'm just trying to stream, and nothing is working. How is this file in use? I don't want to waste my time looking this up. And now, I have to waste my fucking time. My time is valuable. I can't take this. So I'm gonna waste my fucking time looking this up. For fuck's sake. The fuck? How is it in use? I didn't even open the file yet. Windows can suck a dick. Seriously. Windows 11 is gonna be great though. I can't wait. They're probably gonna like fix a lot of stuff. Windows 11, you know, because it's this is only 10. I can't wait till Windows 11 comes out. They're probably gonna fix all these issues. So I guess I'm gonna look this up. This is like a whole new error. This has nothing to do with the other errors. Like, if pigs started flying, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, literally anything could probably happen right now. Flying pigs would totally be plausible. This JavaScript standard is going to be so shitty. I'm going to be angry the whole time I'm doing it. These people are idiots. Okay, so I got that in my system. I'm going to try to figure out whatever the fuck this is, file in use, and why I can't make a fucking backup. I'm so annoyed. Like, I'm like really annoyed. So it's can't be completed. It's open in service hub.indexing. Duh! It's Visual Studio. It's always Visual Studio. I hate Microsoft so much. They're so stupid. Literally, they're so stupid. How do they even exist? Seriously. Oh my god. Having both Visual Studio and Task Manager shows. Let's see, Task Manager. Gets that views. Servicing.hub. I'll just have Siri read it.
Service Hub Indexing Service Eggs is a process by Microsoft Corporation that is part of the Visual Studio software. It's responsible for indexing code and other.
I swear to God, these people are so stupid. This compiler is absolute shit. Okay, I got that in my system. I hate programming so much. I'm just trying to write a program. That's all I want to do. That's literally all that I got on to stream. Just to write a program. I just want to do a little thing. I overthought it and delayed, and I did it though. But I just want to do something, whatever. This has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. And Visual Studio isn't even open, so why is this an issue? I'm so pissed off. It's like multiple files, it's not just one file. So I'm gonna open Visual Studio, I guess, and close it, and maybe it'll like let go the file that it's like stuck on. Okay, the program's open, so I'm gonna close the program. It's closed. Now, I'm gonna try to make it back up again. I'm gonna call it 0 to 21 restore point 4 because this is the fourth time trying this. I'm gonna open the folder, I'm gonna paste it. And it is copying. I guess it can't be copied, I guess. Okay, hold on. So, it's having issues, right? I know where the problem's at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out here. It's literally that one if. So I'm going to make another folder. I'm going to call it 0022 restore point 5. But this time it's going to work because I'm going to use the one that has the error in it. I'm going to copy it from the restore point earlier where I fixed that one if. I'm copying that back up. I'm going to paste it into the restore point 5 because this is my 5th time trying to just make a fucking backup of a working program. Because it didn't compile and it's just shit. So I'm pasting it. This better copy. I swear to God. If this doesn't copy, it copied. Thank God. Hallelujah. So I'm gonna like open this here. I'm gonna open the file in Notepad of all things. So base, I'm gonna go to main. I'm gonna right click, edit in Notepad. I really hope Notepad doesn't destroy the line ending and fuck up this file. It doesn't matter because I do have a backup. I'm gonna find the if where it's getting stuck. Oh, this program is shit. I hate everything. Oh, this is so annoying. I'm almost to the point where that if's at. And here we are. If, oh, it's this one. Here. So, if this was the issue originally, and it didn't have an issue, and it built 3 or 4 times, and then had an issue, and then all this stuff happened. So, oh fuck this program. Okay, so the second if was the issue. So I just typed L, and that fixed it, because technically it isn't error, but for some reason the compiler, it built anyways perfectly fine, and it did what it did, and then it decided to have an error later on when files weren't saving apparently, because I don't know, I didn't see it because the pop-up disappeared and I couldn't find it because it's behind other windows until I closed it, and then I saw a little square and I realized I was there. So I just fixed the issue right now. And is this backup number 5? I don't know. So I'm gonna hit save. It's saved. So we'll just I think I have passwords in one of these notepads, so I'm gonna like 1 second. Don't save, don't save, don't save. And now the program's stuck. Oh no, it's not. Okay, notepad's closed, so I'm gonna whatever. So this is saved. This is restore point 5. I'll put a little X after restore point 3 and restore point 4 because they didn't copy because of values in use. Okay, so now this restore point 5, it fucking works because it did work before after I fixed it. So I fixed it before copying it for use. So I'm going to go to the C drive and I'm going to comment out these folders or whatever. I'm going to put a little X after them or before them. I'll put the X after. Okay, so I put an X after the file, the folder, whatever, and now I'm going to oh, this is pissing me the fuck off. For fuck's sake. I can't rename the folder. I can't delete the folder. I could delete the folder. It's not going to delete. I know it's not, because I can't even rename it. I can't even copy it. This folder is stuck or something. This action can't be completed because it's open. They're not even going to tell me which program. They're just like, yeah, it doesn't work, bro. I've like, I'm at my, I'm so annoyed. I hit the limit, so I'm done for now. I just don't give a fuck. I'm done for today. I'm gonna try again tomorrow. I am so annoyed. Alright, so I made 0 progress today, but I do have a backup that I can assume works. And whatever the fuck it's doing, I'll figure that out tomorrow. Today, whatever time it is. I can't take this right now. So I'm gonna end the stream here. This was great. I had a lot of fun. I made a lot of progress. I learned a whole bunch of shit. I went in circles. And I'm gonna let the stream go on for 10 more minutes. Because, lo and behold, the streaming software doesn't work either. So I'm gonna let it run for 10 minutes. And I'm gonna hope that it's gonna send the last 10 minutes of this completely what's the word? Pointless stream because nothing got done. I don't know, whatever. Peace, I guess. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow will be better than today. Maybe it will. After I figure out why or how or what's going on, because I can't do anything tomorrow until I fix whatever the fuck is going on with that folder. So, hopefully, I will have better luck tomorrow. I don't know. Peace. I'm not gonna be back. I'm letting it time out or whatever.
Service Hub Indexing Service Eggs is a process by Microsoft Corporation that is part of the Visual Studio software. It's responsible for indexing code and other.
I'm not even gonna run Siri. I'm just gonna let it go in silence and whatever. Try again tomorrow. See if I can figure out whatever the fuck service hub dot indexing service dot exe is and why I can't fucking make a copy of a folder because I can't do anything. Alright, I'll stop. I'm done. I'm done for now. I can't take it. I am so pissed off. I am so annoyed. I feel like if I say more words I could express how annoyed I am, but it's not gonna make a difference, so I'm just gonna whatever.